Good morning, guys. It's October 2nd, 2020. I'm Kimberly Jolly from Fat Quarter Shop, and we're sewing along on Sewcialites. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in and talk about Sewcialites Block 1, and then we're going to start Sewcialites Block 2. And then after that, I'm going to show you how to do a piece backing. So first, I wanted to show you everyone's blocks from last week. So this is Teresa's block. She made it 3 inches. And the fabric, scroll down. The fabric is Zen Chic Quotation. And then this is Deborah's, and she used Figs and Shirtings, and she did 3 inches. And then this one is Sue's, and she did Shine On by Bonnie and Camille, and hers is 6 inches. And then Terry made this one, and this one is Folktale by Lella Boutique. And then this one is Angels, and she used Cider by BasicGrey with a grunge. So I just wanted to show you that you can do this any size, and I wanted to show you this. This was important. A lot of you have not enjoyed pressing open, and that's okay. Deborah pressed hers to one side. So you have to just decide what you think works best for you and do whatever, whatever you feel is best. So that's block 1 that I forgot to show you last week, and I'm going to show you block 2's, and then I'm going to show you how I'm going to make it. So this one is also Cider by BasicGrey, Figs and Shirtings. Shine On, Folktale, Quotation, and Figs and Shirtings. So this is thank you to Teresa, Terry, Angel, Sue, and Deborah who sewed these for us. So this is going to show you kind of, you can use any kind of fabric. You can use traditional, modern, anything, and they all look great. I'm going to show you my blocks. And when they finish theirs, we'll also show theirs all put together. So I'm going to show you the blocks that I made for this week. These are the 3 blocks that I made. This block is a little bit easier, which is great, since last week's was really hard. This is definitely a beginner block. It is designed by Lisa Bongean, and the name of the block is Loyal. You can see this poking through. I was like, what is that pink under there? So I sewed mine with Homestead by April Rosenthal, which will be coming in later this month. And what I'm going to demo on the camera is All Hallows Eves by Fig Tree Quilts. This was my block 1. I'm going to show you block 2. And I did want to let you know that this little key ring came in. It's a little Sewcialite. So I'm going to actually get one and put it on my car keys because I am all about losing my car keys. Ask anyone who lives in my house. They're always looking for them. So this might help me. So I have my binder. And in my binder, you can print this out. You can find this on the blog, or you can find it on the Sewcialites Lounge Facebook group. I'm going to go ahead and go to page 2, or block 2, which is here. I'm going to pull this out of my binder. Put this aside. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. Now, the one thing that I am going to do that I decided over the weekend is I'm making 6-inch blocks with All Hallows Eve, and instead of making the big quilt like I am with my other blocks, I'm going to do some other fun stuff throughout that you will see. So this is block 1. I'm going to put it aside with all my other blocks, and we're going to work on block 2. So I brought all my stuff. I am going to use these 2 fabrics. And these triangle papers. So these are the 2 fabrics that I took from the layer cake, And if you're doing the 6-inch size, it calls for a fat quarter. But if you want to do, if you want to use the fabric once, you can get away with 10-inch squares. And the reason I'm doing it is I'm just kind of using scraps. I'm not, because I don't want y'all to feel like when you're doing something like this that you have to do everything exactly like we listed. And the only reason we really listed is so that you have a starting point, but it doesn't mean you can't change it or do something totally different. The one thing I am going to do is I'm going to cover up the 9-inch because I don't want to make a mistake like I did this weekend and cut the wrong size. So this is one thing that I do so I don't cut the wrong size. I'm going to cover up the 3-inch and the 6-inch size so that I only cut this and hope this week I don't make a mistake like I did last week. So we're considering the background the white and we're considering the print the gray. That's just how we write our instructions. Some people are doing it reverse, and that's okay. That's the beauty of this, is do whatever works for you. The first step is to make half square triangles. So it says trim half square triangle unit. You take 1/2 inch from that. So if it says 1 3/4, you need 1 1/4 inch triangle paper, which is what you would use here. You can, if you're going to do the 6-inch, you need 2 1/2 inch triangle paper, which is here. If you're doing the 4 1/4, you need 3 1/4 inch paper, which doesn't exist. So you can do 4-inch and trim down. Or you can do it the traditional way, which is listed here. If you're doing it the traditional way, there is a ruler that will help you. This little handy seam guide, what is it called, Lily?
It's the Creative Grids 9-inch seam guide.
Perfect. So there's a 9-inch seam guide and a 12-inch seam guide, and it's great because you can just mark your lines without having to move a bunch of stuff over. Today, what I'm going to show you is, I'm going to show you with triangle paper. So right here, we're going to make 4, and it says to cut 2 squares. So I'm going to cut 2 squares off my triangle paper. And this is, I use this little washi tape, and then I try to reuse it. Now, obviously, since I cut it in half, I don't know that I can reuse it, but I usually do reuse it. So this is 2 1/2 inch finished. Da, da, da. I'm gonna make music like Lily.
Music.
Yeah, so see the washi tape will usually come right off, and then I just put it back on and reuse it over and over. And of course, you can do it the traditional way, which is written here. We write it the traditional way so that you don't have to buy paper if you don't want to. I'm going to iron my fabrics real quick. So I'm gonna kind of just, I've got a lot of stuff going on here. I'm gonna just kind of move it. There we go, you can see enough. So you can see that I've starched this, and this is where I put it on the drying rack. I'm always looking at Lily for the words. And then you can see it stands up like a tent. That's how I know I starched it the way I like it. Now, a lot of you guys are in the comments, and some of you starch, some of you don't. That's totally fine. Don't feel like you have to do it my way. I'm just showing you what I like to do in my house, and you can do it however you would like. You don't have to do it the way that I do it. That's kind of the beauty of any kind of craft. You can do it however you would like. So I'm just going to iron these, and I do use steam. And you'll notice you do have a little crease right there where it was on the drying rack. So I'm going to move this apart. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut A and C first because they're the same size. I'm going to mark it out. Now you don't have to mark it out, but that's what I do, and that's what the triangle paper's for. So I'm going to put my fabrics right sides together. There we go. I'm going to put it on the edge and pin. And you're going to see that throughout this, I usually just pick a corner and just start on a corner. And anything that is cut the same size, whether it's half square triangle or hourglass, I will usually cut those first instead of going in the order of A, B, C, D. But you can do, like I said, whatever works best for you. So I find this is the easiest, so I'm going to cut that. I just leave a little bit on the outside so I can trim down later. I'll put this on my design board. And this is A and C, so I'll just put that there. And now I've got to, from the background, which is B. Now, one thing you can always do when you're looking at one of our Fat Quarter Shop or It's So Emma patterns is we put little diagrams with letters. So if you're concerned about, okay, is the background the white or the gray, you just look, B is white. So it is a 1.5 inch square. So I'm going to use my little handy dandy 2.5 inch square ruler, pull it down, and cut. It's easier to see on this. Then I will just use the other side. I usually do 2 sides at a time. So I'm going to line up the 1.5 here and here, and then trim 2 sides. And that is going to be letter B. So I put this on my design board with this. Now, doing this method, you don't have to do this, and this is not as helpful when you're doing just one block. But a lot of times I will do like 12 blocks all in one day, cut them all, and just stack the boards, and so that's when you really need your alpha bitties. And then it says print D, cut 4, 1.5 by 3. So here I don't want to lose this little sliver, so I'm actually going to think about, okay, 1.5 times 4 is 6, right, Lily? Yeah, 1.5 times 4 is 6. So I really need a 3 by 6. So I kind of think about 3 by 6. So I can actually just save right here. This is how I save fabric. And this is why I'm using a layer cake rather than a fat quarter, because now I have wasted nothing. Then I'm going to cut 1.5. I hope 1.5 times 6 is, 1.5 times, let's see, and I might not have done that right. I don't think I did. Actually, I didn't. See? So I go 3 and 3. Actually, I should have cut a 3-inch, but I didn't have enough for 3-inch. So see, that's how I do math in my sewing room and mess up, but that's okay. So now I need 2 more 1.5 by 3. So I'm going to think about 1, 2, 3. I think I can get it from this little piece right there. So I'm basically trying to waste as little as possible. And also it's easier when you come back to your project and you have a rectangle rather than, like, you know, stuff coming off of everywhere. So I'm going to cut 3. And sometimes I do talk to myself just like this when I'm in my sewing room. So, and you can see that my math skills, I'm a CPA, my math skills are not that great. But that's kind of how I cut. And it's good to see that I just kind of don't always do the math right. Okay, so these are our D's. So I'm going to put my mat away. And we're going to start the pattern. Now, one thing that I do, if I was at home and I was doing a lot of blocks, for example, I made this weekend. When I did this, and we're going to talk about this next, when I did this, I did all of my half square triangles at one time. So I cut all of this and I chain pieced. I mean, not really chain pieced, but I did all my half square triangles at one time. so that I could actually finish it. So that's one tip that I would give you, is to save time. You could do all of these at one time. Of course, one thing I also do, I feel like I'm talking too much, is now this block is easy, but a lot of times I will do one block first. That is one thing that I do. I do one block first, make sure I've got everything cut right, then I do all of them. So I guess I'd left that out. I would do one block, make sure it works, make sure it measures 3.5 or 6.5 or whatever it's supposed to measure, and then when you do the rest, then you can kind of be efficient. So now I'm going to go to my sewing table. This is my Juki is my sewing room. I'm kidding. Okay. I'm gonna go to my Juki. I'm gonna turn my stitch length down. So whatever stitch length you're usually at. So if you're usually at a 2, go to a 1.5. If you're usually at a 1.5, go to a 1. Every machine is different. So like a Bernina or a Janome or a Juki, they're all different. So whatever you normally stitch at, just go down. That's going to help your paper pull off easier and not pull out your stitches. And you want to stitch directly on the dotted line. And you can do this using the traditional method. And one of these weeks I'll do a traditional method. I'm just showing you what I really do in my house. But I will find a week that I can show you the traditional method. Perfect. So now I'm going to cut this down. I'm getting a little bit more organized on the finding my stuff. So on this, my OCD is like, I gotta clean the table. Oh. So the most important thing when you're using triangle paper is to stitch directly on the line. If you stitch to the left of the line, your triangle is gonna be too small. If you stitch to this side, it's gonna be too fat. So it does affect your final size, and your cutting here does. So I go pretty slow here. But you know, cutting is my favorite part. We've talked about that a little bit. I love to cut. I just bought the dinosaur quilt kit by Elizabeth Hartman, and I just want to go home and cut it. I don't want to sew it. I just want to cut it. But I showed my son, and he's very excited, and he told me that he would, if I cut, he would do the alphabetties part. And I do have this jar of alphabetties that I'll need to take home to be able to do that.
Also, lots of people say Pioneer Woman has a similar jar to that if you're looking for more.
Oh, okay. So I bought this. I'll kind of go back. I bought this. It's called Kilner. Yeah. I bought this a long time ago on Amazon because there's a pink, a blue, and a white. And I like everything in my sewing room to be cute. And they're very heavy. And I will tell you, when my shelf fell, this was one of the only things that didn't break.
Oh, wow.
And then Kevin told me when he put the shelf back up, please do not put that jar back on the shelf. And I had bought it on Amazon, and I had bought it from, I think, the UK. So what Lilly is saying is that the Pioneer Woman, she sells stuff in Walmart, I believe.
Yes.
And she has an awesome cooking show that my daughter likes. She has one similar. Maybe I'll have to go check it out. Mm-hmm. And then to pull the papers off, there's a couple ways you can do it. You can just do this, and when you do that, it comes right off. Or what I like to do, I will do kind of this. Well, actually, my son Peyton does all my paper, but this is how I taught him, is especially if you're doing multiple blocks like this and you've got to peel all this paper off, which I kind of peel them all back and then rip them all at once. So we'll wrap them, and I usually just throw the paper on the floor, but here I will not. Okay, we're gonna go to the ironing table, or the ironing mat.
Yeah.
My words are all off today.
Iron station.
I was telling Lily, we do the flu shot where we pay for the flu shot for all the employees, and I got it, and ever since then I'm like, ugh. It makes me sleepy, and every year it makes me sleepy. It makes me like, I don't know. So now I've got them. Now what I will do here is I'm going to set the seam. And setting the seam to me means just putting your iron on it. I'm not jerking my iron. I'm just setting the iron on it. Now, if you're a person who likes to press to one side, on this one you would just press toward your orange, and that will work on this one. What I will do is press to one side first. Yeah, I'm excited that I got the flu shot over with, but now I got to do my kids. So I have to figure out, because they used to do it at school. It was part of school. So now I'm like, oh, I got to figure out where I'm going to do it. Now I'm going to find my scissors. Here they are. And what I do here, I'm going to actually press open. I'm going to press all my blocks open, but if you don't want to, just press towards the darker. And I'm going to just clip these off. The reason I clip it off before I press open is you only have to clip off 2 instead of 4. So if you had, let me show you this. Lily's gonna start singing music. Then if you do that, then you have to go 1, 2, 3, 4 instead of 1, 2. So I kind of do anything that can make me go faster, I will do in my sewing room, because I want to get a lot done. I'm so excited about the dinosaur quilt. I'm gonna starch it. So excited because it's like 1,000,000 pieces. I love to cut. I would just cut 1,000,000 of those kits if I could. So when I iron, I'm just finger pressing and just put your iron on it. The biggest thing about when I'm ironing is just to not move your iron around. Okay, so if you go back to the beginning of the video, if you're doing the 3-inch block, you will use a 1.25 finished half square triangle. If you're doing a 6-inch block like I am, you will use 2.5-inch finished. And if you are doing the 9-inch, you need 3.75 finished, which we are going to develop now that we realize we don't have it. If you want to use triangle paper, just use 4-inch and trim down. And what I did with that is you can take right here where it says trim half square triangle to measure, whatever is in your little section. So this is 3, this is 6, and this is 9. Take 1/2 inch off. So 1.75 minus 0.5 is 1.25. And I write it down in my pattern, and the reason you write it down is then you don't have to think again. It's all right there. So I make lots of notes. You're going to see that I make lots of notes on my patterns. So I'm going to press these open. I love this block. It's so fun because it's so easy. I needed an easy block today. Did you do the flu shot?
I did, yeah.
You did?
It was very convenient, so thank you for providing that.
Yeah, it's the only thing you know how smell bothers me? I could just smell that alcohol in my office. I was like, it smells like a disinfectant.
It smells like a doctor's office.
Yeah. So that was the one thing that I thought was kind of funny.
Yeah.
I just didn't know if you would do it. Okay, sometimes I'll do it and sometimes I won't. But I think lately I've been doing it more than not.
Yeah.
So, when I didn't have kids, I wouldn't do it. But now that I have kids, I kind of feel like I have to do it. So now I will take my design board and lay this out. Now, if I was making 20 blocks at one time, for example, I would do all my triangle paper at one time on all my blocks, and then I would come back. So here is how the block looks. I'm just comparing to, well, I guess I could compare it to here. Now, if you want to change your block, you can do it however you want. The block would look great like this, and you would have a circle. You could do like a pinwheel type thing also. You can do whatever you want. I'm glad that this week my measurements came out right. whereas last week they didn't. So on this one, I'm going to stitch down here. I'm going to set my stitch length back to my normal. And then we're going to iron. And I'm going to leave it chain piece so that it's not cut apart. So I'm going to switch my foot. And I'm going to chain piece. And on this one, you can pin or not. The pieces are not that, they're not that small, so you don't always have to pin. I'll pin just because I like to pin. And I'll just keep pulling my fabrics. Let me see, I put a pin at the bottom. So now, if I was at home, I would put it here, carry this to my ironing board. So I'll just move my ironing board over here. And I'm going to press. I don't cut these apart. I will just press. Now, it's easier to press to the side that doesn't have a seam. So I'm going to do that first, and then I'm going to press open. If you don't want to press open, you can just press toward the orange sashing or the orange little rectangles. Flip it over. Now it's super hot, so at home I'm not going to just start. I'm going to let it cool a little bit so I don't burn my fingers. So I'll kind of press them open. And you can see it's still hot, so they kind of, they kind of sit there. And then I will press open. And then I'm going to get my tailor's clapper and put that on top. More of these are coming in stock today or tomorrow. Yeah. Today or yesterday. So I'm going to leave that there. Come back. Wait a little bit. Maybe like 20 seconds. Are there any questions while that's sitting? And then I'll come back. Yeah. I like that to sit. I have no idea how it works or why it works, but it's awesome. And I will tell you that I couldn't find, at home, I have the big one and the small one. And when I was sewing this on Sunday, I was like, I couldn't find the second one. I was like, oh my gosh, where'd it go? It's right here. Does that work? So I bought another one. I bought a different brand just because I needed one. So, yeah.
But yeah, questions. There's actually some super chats and member shout outs that I missed from last week towards the end of the show.
Okay, why don't you do those while I stitch this?
Okay, I will do that. I also just wanted to ask everyone putting in a super chat. I know last week we kind of had this thing going where we were talking about passing the basket or the plate, kind of making a church analogy. And I just wanted to ask you all if we could refrain from using that, just so, you know, I don't want to make light of anyone's religion or seem like we're making fun of it in any way. So I'm just going to ask you guys if we could pass the virtual tip jar instead. But yes, so would really appreciate it. And then super chat from last week from Darlene Wolf for $5. Thank you so much, Darlene.
Thank you.
And then after Darlene's super chat, we have gotten one from Raylene Cheruby, also for $5. Thank you so much, Raylene. Oh, and then Raylene had said, thank you, ladies. Off to bed as it is 1:30 here in Australia. I will catch up tomorrow. So
oh my goodness, I don't know that I could stay up till 1:30.
Yeah. I did see that Australia is about to go through a time change soon, so it might be a little bit later for them after that. But yeah, and then we had a new member join last week, Kimmy K. Welcome, Kimmy. And then we had another super chat from Jan Bell for $5.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jan. Yay, super piggy. And
super
then
piggy.
A super chat from Dawn Reed for $10.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dawn.
And don't feel like you have to send one in.
Yes.
We're
yes.
still going to read your comment if you don't.
Yes, we will get to as many comments. This is just our way of like,
Thanking you.
yeah, thanking you guys, or if you guys really have a question you want me to ask, super chat kind of guarantees it. Dawn had also said, another excellent show, Kimberly. So this was towards the end of the chat. And then we had another super chat from Georgia Hanchera. Thank you, Georgia.
Thank you. So now I'm going to let her keep going, but what I'm going to do here is, it's still chain pieced, so I'm going to cut one of them apart, not both, just one. And then I'm going to do this. I'm going to pin. I'll show you real quick how I pin, and then, so here I just kind of, well, now I'll cut it now that I'm starting to put it together. Is I literally just try to butt up the orange and the orange. There you go. And the white and the white. And I just hold it in place and pin. And we're going to hope that I don't have to use a seam ripper today, because last week we had to. And then I'm going to pin the next intersection and just stitch. And then Lily can keep talking.
Yay. New member from last week, Karen Williams. Welcome, Karen. And then we had another new member at the end of the chat, AJ Payne 75. Welcome, AJ. And yes, for our channel memberships, we did have a members only live stream yesterday, which if you're joining today as a new member, you can watch all the live streams we've done for members only. Those stay up forever, so you can go back through those and watch yesterday's. Any other thing before that? And let's see, I can start doing today's. We had a new member join at the beginning of live stream, Judy Hampton. Welcome, Judy. Excuse me.
I'm telling you, it's also the change in weather. It kind of got hot to cold, and it's making everyone cough.
Yeah, I also kind of just choked on my saliva. So.
Oh my gosh! Lily.
Don't you ever do that? Doesn't that happen to everyone?
I don't know.
Maybe I just get excited. I don't know.
That's funny.
Also, let me go back to the comment. Patricia Lawson had said, "Hi, sweetie. Mom is at sewing weekend in Bryan, Texas."
Thanks. Yeah, my mom went to. She's going to like a embroidery class for like 3 days. There's a store there.
That's exciting.
Yeah, she got there last night.
And then let me know when you want me to pause with the super chats and all that.
I'll just show pinning this real quick.
Okay.
So here I do use the design board so that a lot of times I could do something like this or something like that, or I just kind of use the design board because when you set it down, you can see, okay, I've got it going the right way. And I'm just going to pin the same thing in all the intersections. And my seams did line up. If they didn't, I would pull them out. But if at home you don't want to, you don't have to. Do whatever makes you happy. Whatever brings you joy, or it does not matter. And you don't have to feel like your blocks need to be perfect. That was one of the things in the group that people were talking about. I happen to just be a perfectionist in all parts of my life. That is a good thing, and it's also a bad thing. So it's just whatever your personality is what you should do. And then I'm just going to sew this last seam, and then Lily can talk while I try to make the machine not so loud. I'm sewing slow so she can talk.
Oh. Thank you for everyone who says that they also accidentally choke on their spits sometimes. I appreciate the solidarity.
Well, eventually I'm going to have to do that so that I know that I probably just don't know I do it.
That's funny. Yes, we had a super chat at the beginning from Susan Summers for $4.99, and she did amend it to say, passing the tip jar. Love all you do. Thank you so much, Suzanne. Or Susan. Let me know if there's an accent on the Suzanne, or if it's just Susan. Either way, it's beautiful.
Now here, you when you lay this down, you can tell if you do this, it's going to tell you which way is easiest to press to. Because see, it naturally went inside. So I'm going to press that way first and then press open. it'll just do it. Oh, look, that does not match up. Right there. Okay, I'm going to redo that.
Do you mind if we zoom in on that? Because I
Yep.
don't see it.
Yeah, zoom in, and I'm going to show you how I unstitch when I find the seam ripper. Okay, I'll move the iron and show you. And I'm going to show you how I unrip. Okay, see that? That does not match. So to unrip, this is my little trick. On one side, I'm going to start here, and here I'm going to redo the whole line. I'm not going to do the whole thing. I will unpick here and here, and then I'm going to just kind of go through like every 3 to 4 stitches, and I'm using Artful Color 2000 also. When I turn it over, I'm going to go back to the start and the stop. So I'm going to kind of, this seam ripper is, I think I have another one that's better. This one is, so there and there. And then what you do is pick it up in the middle. Watch. And sometimes it'll work, sometimes it doesn't. Okay, watch. It's the seam ripper is, okay, watch. Nope, it's not working. See, it'll just start coming out. See how that just came out? If you clip on one side, see that just comes out. It'll just come out. I probably didn't do enough clips, but the more clips you do, hold on, I gotta change seam rippers. That seam ripper needs to go in the trash. I don't know where it is, but we'll find it for next week and I'll throw this one away. This one I can tell has hot glue on it, so that's why it's being difficult. So then I'll go back and just kind of pull these little boogers off. But normally, if you clip on one side and clip every few stitches and go to the other side, it'll just pull out. Okay, so now I'm going to go back. I'm going to just literally throw this in the trash. We'll find another one. Now I'm going to repin, so I'm going to do it again. Hopefully this time. Now if you're okay with them not matching, remember, don't change it if you don't want to. Okay, now I'm going to, when I go back to my machine, I will start kind of here before my stitches and then after my stitches. I'll just cover previous so that there's not a hole. Let me just do it fast. Look and see. No. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're gonna have to find the seam ripper. Oh, here it is.
Oh, good. Okay.
I was like, I know it's here. Yeah. So yeah, no, it's not. It's not. So I'm gonna redo it again. And I'm gonna do it where you can actually see how that seam rip works. And I know what y'all's comments are gonna say, but I have to do it. I have to redo it. If I don't redo it now, I'll redo it at home. So now if you go back and back, hopefully this will just pull out. Watch. It never works the same on camera, but okay, Lily, you can talk and I'll just fix it.
Okay.
Because, I mean, I'm not...
Yeah. Okay.
My seams are stuck.
Oh, no. Must be the new machine. They're very tight.
It's because I'm on camera and I had that flu shot, I'm telling you.
Oh.
The flu shot. No. Jinxing me.
Okay, we had a super chat earlier from Miasia Osby for $4.99.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miasia. And then we had a super chat for $19.99 from Valeria Bauer.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Valeria. And she put a pear that's dancing with a top hat and a cane, and it says, "You are amazing."
Aw, thank you. So now I just did one seam and it worked, and I'm going to do the other seam. That way I don't go across the whole thing because it obviously wasn't working. So, and if you start really close to the seam, you're more likely to get it right. So that's what. Like if you, like, rather than starting here, start real close to your seam. I learned that from Adita. When she was here.
Yeah.
And then that matches, so then now I'll just press. I'll just finish stitching. So now it's all messy on the back. So I'll kind of cut off some of the threads. You don't have to. I don't think my quilters care if I do or not. But I like it to be neat. See, that's what I get for saying it's an easy block. Is this. Okay. Yeah, see, y'all can see my OCD. But I'm trying to do it like I really do at home, so I'm gonna iron this one and then we're gonna trim it up. Yay! And then I'm gonna show you something else. Okay, so. Okay, Lily, you can talk. What I'm going to do is just iron this really good and put this tailor's clapper on it to get it nice and flat, and then we'll trim it after that so that it's nice and flat.
Okay. We had a new YouTube member join, Nancy Delan. Welcome, Nancy. And then after that, we had a super chat from Minerva Pena. Well, not welcome, sorry. Thank you, Minerva, for $4.99 super chat. And then our next super chat was from Sunshine Girl 74 for $4.99. And she put a little pair that's like working out saying, keep it up.
Aw, thanks.
Thank you.
So you can see here, I've put 2 tailor's clapper. I do that at the end of a block just so it gets nice and flat. And then we're going to trim it up. And I'm going to show you 2 different ways you can do that. Now, when I was first quilting, what I would do is I would put this little 6.5-inch ruler and trim around. And sometimes I would chop off my seams. So I stopped doing that because I didn't trust myself. So you can do that. Or you can do one side at a time, which does take longer, and that's what I do. And I'll line up first the line at the top, make sure these are 1/4 inch away, right at that where the half square triangle it'll meet on the ruler. I do use the side of the Creative Grids with the dotted line rather than the white line. You can use either. That one's easier for me to see. And I'm going to trim all 4 sides that way. Again, line at the top, 1/4 inch trim. And you don't even have to do this step. This is a step that you can leave off. I enjoy it. I love it. It makes me feel good to trim all this off because then it's so pretty and it's less messy. And I'm showing all my crazy OCD tendencies. Okay, so now we're going to measure it. And it came out 7/16. So it's not 6.5, and that's okay. So there's my block. So I do want to answer any questions on the block before I move to what I'm going to do next. And when I put this, I'll put it back in my binder and remove my yellow stickies. And also, you know, you see that I scratched out numbers, but I used a pencil. So if I ever need it, if I come back to this, all I have to do is erase if I want to redo it.
Okay. A few people were asking if it matters if you use a scant 1/4 inch or just a normal 1/4 inch, and which is more important.
Okay, so that is personal preference. I use an exact 1/4 inch. with the foot that I have. Some feet are different. Some feet measure in centimeters rather than inches. I've tried scant 1/4 inch and I could never get it to work. So it's all personal preference. I use a 1/4 inch. That's just what I use. Now, Miss Rosie, Carrie from Miss Rosie's Quilt Company, she uses a scant 1/4 inch on everything. So it really depends, I would say, on your machine, the foot, maybe the type of needle you're using or how you iron. It's all just what you do. I just do a straight 1/4 inch. But you can do whatever works for you. I want y'all to feel like these videos are just showing you what I do, but don't feel like you have to do it my way, and don't feel like you have to say, oh, da-da-da-da-da. Do whatever. I can't get, if I did a scant 1/4 inch, I don't know what my blocks would look like. I don't know that I could do it. It's, I can't get that to work.
And Kim Anderson was asking, when do we do our larger half square triangles and just square plain background blocks?
That's at the very end.
Okay.
And the bigger ones, you don't have to use triangle paper if you don't want to. And I'll go over those when I do it. Now, the weeks that I'm going to be out, which I'm going to go visit Lori, that week I'm going to pre-record a video. And then the week after is Black Friday, and I'll pre-record a video for that. But I'm not going to be live on Black Friday because I'm going to be looking at orders and helping, you know, fill orders or whatever.
From Kim Sweden Bopel, what is your normal stitch setting?
Okay, so I got a new Juki. On the new Juki, I was doing 2.0. On my old Juki, I was at a 1.5. So it really depends on what your machine is. Now, I could not stitch with a 2.5. The way that I iron, all my stitches would come out. So I would say 2.0 would be standard. My old machine, I don't know. That's just like they just vary from machine to machine.
From Marie Elsner, do you ever sew around the blocks to prevent fraying when finishing the rest of the blocks, being that this will be a year-long quilt along?
No. I put them in a box, so I'll show you my bag of tricks. So these boxes are $4.99 from Target. They're paper boxes, and all my blocks. Can you do the upper camera, please? All my blocks are in here. And that's why they don't fray, because they're in the box. So they'll be in the box. And then the other thing that I do is in this box, I have a second one. These are my leftover scraps. So this is leftover from block 1, and this is leftover from block 2. And I keep those in another box. And that way I always know where they're at.
Okay. We had a funny comment from Pat Bro. She said, good morning. I just joined in and misheard Kimberly and thought I heard her say Taylor Slapper. I shall now forever call my Rightly Blake Designs Taylor Clapper my slapper. I shall be slapping those pesky little blocks.
This thing is heavy.
That's funny. Taylor Slapper.
That's funny.
And then Teresa says, I have a question, and I really don't want anyone to take it as criticism, but just curious why call this block Loyal instead of just a shoe fly block, which is one of the traditional names.
So one of the things that we do on our sew-alongs and our charity quilts is we come up with names that evoke positivity instead of the traditional name. If we do a traditional name, sometimes there's like 3 traditional names. So we do that because we want our channel and our page to always be something that gives you some kind of positivity, and it's just a way to have no arguments also, so that for example, if you have a blog, maybe somebody calls it a sister's choice, or they might call it something else. We just come up with our own names. And it's actually a little bit, I think the measurements are probably a little bit different than the normal shoe fly. But that's just kind of what we do. We like things to be, just positive, I guess. Is that the right word, Lily?
Yeah, positive.
Yeah. You can call it whatever you want, though.
From Cleo Hasbrook, is it okay to use a larger triangle on a roll to make a triangle and cut it down, i.e. 3.5 to 2?
Yes, you can do that.
And then we have lots of super chats, some of which have questions in them. So I'm
Can
gonna
I
go down
take a
the
break
list.
and you read the super chats?
Sure.
Because I'm probably going to need to take 2 breaks. I
Yes.
just need to go potty real quick and I'll come back. And
Yes.
she'll talk to y'all.
Yes, I'll talk from back
I
here.
have to find my mask though. Oh, here it is. Okay, I'll be right back. I can never find anything.
That's funny. Yeah. I'm going to stay back here so I can play Super Piggy for y'all. But let's see. Next super chat was from Kim West. And I saw you amended it to say, passing the tip jar. Thank you for all you do. Loving the live tutorials and seeing your process. Thank you so much, Kim. Really appreciate it. And super chat from Patricia Hamilton for Canadian dollar $6.99. For an amazing fat quarter shop team. I spend more time with Kimberly than anyone else, both live and video. Thanks. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you so much. And then Dreamers Homestead. I see you super chat for $5 saying, it's Deb, passing the virtual tip jar early. Thumbs up if you love these beautiful ladies. Aw, thank you. That's very sweet of you. And then our next super chat was from Nancy Delon for $4.99. You put the keep it up pair, and I'll go up there and mimic the pair for y'all real quick. So when I'm behind the camera, this is the keep it up pair. This is what I do for Kimberly. And the dancing pair with the hat, I go like this. And then there's the one with the mirror, and I do this. So, yes, that's how I mimic the pairs. And let's see, our next super chat was from Wilma Evans for $4.99. Thank you so much, Wilma. Every time I read your name, it reminds me of the Flintstones. And our next super chat was from Susan Jeffries for $5. And Susan said, love Fat Quarter Shop.
Thank you.
Right now I went and I modeled for them how I do the dancing pair things for you.
Oh yeah, she does the little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We still have more super chats.
Okay, I'm going to keep going.
Okay.
So I do want to show you on the upper camera. If you look on my machine here at work, these came out from last week and this week exactly the same. But I want to show you that my machine at home is going to be different, I bet. So I just have to find. Now my machine at home is going to be different. It's going to be bigger. And I got somebody who commented and said something really like, oh, well, I hope my architect uses that excuse. I'm just showing you that every machine is different. And every, that's all I'm trying to show you is that every machine is different. So what I'm going to do here with these, I'm going to make something for my house. And I'm going to, once we have like 5 or 6, I'm going to make something with for my house, show you, and then I'll move to a different collection because I don't need another quilt. I don't need another 4th quilt. So I'm going to move these, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do today. I think it's going to be fun. I am going to move the machine a little bit and come back to it. So I have to zoom way out. Okay, so what I did at home, I bought, last Friday, I found a $49.99 table at Home Goods because Home Goods now has stuff coming in, and I was so excited, and it's a round table, and it's about, I would say, like that. So when I went home, I thought, what size would be great for this? Let's make something. So this is block 2, 3-inch blocks, 4 by 4. So I made 16 blocks. I used All Hallows Eve, Figs and Shirtings 2, and scraps from my stash. So like this is Shine On, this is Kimberbell Basics. But you could make it all the same. You can do different. I wanted it to be scrappy. And I had 4 that I felt were medium prints right here. I put those in the center, so when I display this on my table, it'll probably be, you know, it'll look like this. Usually I will have a little container here and you won't see these. So I did press open, and I will tell you, this took me maybe 5 hours, and I'm gonna send it today to Gina. She's gonna quilt it for me. So what I thought I would do is show you how to do a piece backing. And forgot my book, so I'm gonna do it on this. This is what I do at home. So this is 12.5 inches. So 12.5 right here. You need 4 inches on each side. Okay, good. Yeah, thanks, sorry. I forgot I took it downstairs. Oh, good, okay. So here we go. So 12.5 inches. This is literally what I do at home to figure out a backing. I'm gonna do a piece backing. So on a small quilt like this, Gina said she only needs 4 inches around. So 4, my handwriting is horrible. 4, 4, 4, 4. So that would be 20.5 inch square. Now I want to do a piece backing. So I have my leftovers. Now what I could do here is I could just put this on the back. So this could be my backing. And I could do it just like that, and that would give me, you know, it might be a little short here, but you could do something like that where it's just solid on the backing. I hardly ever do that. So this is all starched, and these are my scraps. So you can see that I had a fat quarter that I started with for this. I'm gonna also show you what I did with this. This fabric to me is very busy. It goes right here. I did not want my half square triangles to be white and for it to not have, can you scroll in a little bit now?
Yeah.
Sorry. Perfect. So I didn't want this to be white, so I cut a hole in the center. And this is where I took my half square triangles from. And then my rectangles I took from the outside. So I do weird stuff like that, but I started with a fat quarter. This was in my stash. This was a bigger piece. It was, oh, this is Farmhouse 2, which is several years old. But this is basically what I have left over. So I'm just gonna kind of show you what I do. So I have all different sizes of pieces. I have some small pieces, some big pieces that we're gonna make a piece backing out of. So I'll kind of look at, you know, what do I have? I just have all kinds of stuff left over. Because I started with, some of these are from fat quarters. Like this one's from a fat quarter, this is from yardage. Because it's 16 different fabrics here. And I want to incorporate a label. So I am a member of the Sweetwater Label Company. I pay for it every month. They don't pay me to say this. And they come in this little paper bag, so I keep them all together. So I have used most of them, but I'm gonna show you kind of some that I have left over. But like the one from last month I've already used. So I kind of display them and see which one I think will look good with my fabric. So since I've got orange and white, I want something plain, like the red's not gonna work, the blue's not gonna work, the green, I mean, that could work. So I'm gonna kind of eliminate what I think doesn't work. This one says Mary, Mary, so that obviously won't work. But I think this one will work because it's just black and white. Now, you don't have to use a label. You can do this method without the label. I'm gonna look at the width of it and see what it is. And it's 18. So I think what I'm gonna do, based on the small pieces that I have that are like this, is I'm going to cut some 3.5-inch squares so there's no waste. So if I take 20 divided by 3, I need about 8 across. That's going to give me 24, so I need 8. I need 7. 7 times 3, yeah, I need 7. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start here, and I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. Lily's looking at me like, I don't do math. So I think 7, 3.5, and I literally draw just like this, but I need that label to go in somewhere. So I'm going to scoot it in probably somewhere over here. So what I'm going to do is cut first 7 3.5-inch squares. And I'm basically going to just add some solids, some other stuff over here maybe. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to try to come out around 20.5. Now your quilter might want more or less. A big quilt, you need 5 inches all the way around. But the small one, I think you only need 4. So I'm going to cut some 3.5-inch squares, and I'm literally going to just take my scraps and cut just 7 random. I could rotate the mat, but I have all this mess over here. Now from here, I'm going to look and see if I can get a 2.5-inch square to save for my scraps, and I can't. So I'm going to let that go. I'm going to eventually start saving 1.5-inch squares, but right now I'm not there. So I'm going to move that aside, and I'll just move to another one that's small. And kind of getting the small ones out of your stash, I think is kind of easy. So you could do 1.5-inch square if you want out of that. The smallest I keep is 2.5. That's just personal preference. I like this one too, so I'm gonna cut. But this is literally, you guys have asked what I do for piece backing. It might confuse y'all, but I literally just, I can't, I rotate that because it's too big. That's my third one. Now here, I'm gonna wanna keep, I don't wanna keep all this, because that's just going to take up room. So I'll get rid of that. And as I do that, I'm going to just put them in my basket over here. And for every project at home, I have a little basket. So this is too small. I'll keep it for later. This one's, now this one, okay, this will be a good teaching. Let's see, this one, I want to see if I can save more to put in my scrap bucket. So I can cut some 2.5 inches. So I'm going to cut as close to the edge here as I can. And I'm going to cut some 2.5-inch squares. I'll take the 2.5-inch squares home, and I will put them in my 2.5-inch square bucket. And one day I'll bring that in and we'll make something out of it. This one actually might be big enough to cut a 3.5. Nope. So I'll cut another 2.5. Couple 2.5, and then they'll just go in my bucket. But some people do save the 1.5-inch scraps. I don't yet, but I think I eventually will. So right there, I cut in a little too far, so to get it to fit. So that's how you use up your scraps. You just save little leftovers. And at this point in my project, now obviously, at this point of the project, I'm just considering this to go with this, and I'm ignoring the blocks that I'm making, just to simplify. Plus, a lot of this was from scraps. So I'll just save those. So now I've got 4, I need 3 more. Put this, and I kind of just roll my fabrics up and put them in there. And later I'll cut those, I'll either save those or cut them down for something. So this one, okay, this one, I don't want to just cut, like it's gonna look funny. So I will try to cut this in the very center because I'm special like that. So I'm going to put the white lines on this ruler. The white lines are the center, and I'm going to put them on the center, and I'm going to cut around. That way you can see the pretty flower. Okay. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one's too small, so I'll go ahead and cut this down into 2.5-inch squares so that when I get home I just put it in my bucket and there's no waste. But at this point, I'm kind of trying to use, the point of this is I'm trying to either use up my pieces or put them in my scrap bin. So I could do a whole back that's huge, but I don't, oh, I cut the wrong size. That's a 2.5, okay. So that goes in there, this goes in here. I'm not gonna use this one because to me it's medium and I don't like mediums. So that's, I need 2 more. So I'll do I already did the polka dot. Oh, I can do this one. Almost done. So you can see that I can do a lot with this backing, but I don't want the backing to be too, I don't want to get too complicated on this video. Plus it's really small. Let's see. So this I'll save. I save everything. Okay, this one. So you can see when I started with my layer cake, I went from one side to the other. And this one, I will kind of center this and get this pretty flower. You don't have to, but I like to. So I will fussy cut. That's what fussy cutting is. Mm-hmm. You don't have to. Of course, it's just the back. But, I mean, really, I'm not losing anything. And I'll just kind of cut these off. So I've got 7. So what I'll do is just kind of put everything back in my bucket. And I kind of keep this bucket until I'm ready to cut it down. I'm gonna have, okay, I have that. Okay, move this. Oops, I dropped it. Let me pick it up. Okay, so like my drawing, I'm just gonna sew 7 together. You can lay it out any way you want, but we got to figure out our label in there. So here's my label. The labels, you can do it different ways. You can just sew it in. You can literally just sew this in, or you can put this on top of a fabric and sew it in. Either way. This is going to, it's like fusible, but it's a very light fusible. It's not like a real deal fusible. So to me, I'm just going to sew it in. I don't need it to be on top. You can put it basically on top of a plain white or something like this and sew it in. So, or you can just sew it like this. So which should I do, Lily? What did everybody want me to do? I'll do either.
Let's see, yeah. Well, a few people were asking if, because it makes like a papery sound when you've been handling it, the label. So they were asking like if it's paper, if it's fabric.
So it's fabric right here, and it's like a heavier cotton, and this is like some kind of sticky. So let me try to stick it down to something. We don't have any plain white in here, do we?
Yeah.
I forgot that piece. I could put it on the other one, but you're gonna see it. Yes. Oh, Lily, thank you. Yeah. So I usually will start with the plain white because I don't want to see through to this. So I'm just gonna kind of put it on the edge. I'll do this way. Find my scissors. This is what I do at home. Do y'all do that when you're looking for your scissors or your rotary cutter? Because it's usually like right there. That's how I operate. That's what I was doing.
Everyone is saying sew it in.
Okay, I'm going to sew it in, but I'm going to put it on top of this fabric to sew it in.
Okay.
So I always sew it in. So I do always sew it in, but sometimes I sew it in like this, or sometimes I put it on a fabric and sew it in. So that's the difference. So what I'm going to do is just kind of keep these in order. And this label will just, it'll kind of stick down. So you see it sticks. Sometimes I don't put a backing on it. Sometimes I just sew it in. If I was at home, I probably would have just sewed it in without putting that on there. This makes it thicker, but that's gonna give it some stability. So for this, what I would like to do is, I don't want this black. Can you zoom in a little bit?
Yeah,
sorry, Lily.
It's okay.
It's better for my eyesight too, so I can see what I'm doing. So I probably don't want that black to show right here, just because I don't want it to be, you'd probably have to be really straight, and it would drive me crazy if it wasn't. So I'm gonna put my Creative Grids ruler on that line, right there. That's my 1/4 inch seam. I don't want it to show. So look, I'm gonna move it a little bit. Can you see that? Yeah,
yes.
A little bit to the left, and trim. And the reason I do that is hopefully this will get sewn into the seam. I might need to do a little bit more than that. And I want it to be straight, so it's, I'm gonna do the same thing on the bottom, is go a little bit to the left. Okay. Now I'm not going to trim the edges because it really doesn't matter. What I'm going to first do is I'm going to do one, well, I guess I could. See, at home I wouldn't, but here I'll do it. Now, I'm going to use this, and we're going to hope that 3.5 works, and it does. It's going to chop off a tiny bit of the words. Yeah, that's probably not going to work, because that's going to chop it off. So see, I cut 3.5 inch squares. It's going to kind of chop off. So I'm going to go to a different label, because that's not going to work. And then this label can just go right back in the bag, and it's no big deal, because it's already got the thing on it. This one might work better. So see, this one, it's not going to chop off any words. So I'm going to do this one now. And this is the kind of stuff I do at home. I had told Lily I'm not planning it out. I'm just going to do it. So that's what I'm doing, and you're going to just see that this is my method. So I'll cut these off. I'll keep these for later. Do you think this one looks better or this one? I think this one might look better.
The white one?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do the white one. Okay, thanks. Put these in the bag. Cut a little white piece. I'm so glad we had this, Lily.
Yeah.
I thought about bringing it and I forgot.
Yeah, we have like a leftover bin in there.
And you can make your own labels. I have no experience doing that, but there's some products you can buy from Electric Quilt where you can print out on your own printer. One of the things is a lot of times it has to be a DeskJet or inkjet, and so a lot of people don't have inkjet anymore. So sometimes that's a holdup. Okay. So now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to cut, but I think this one will look good showing that little line around it, so I'm going to cut on the other side so that it will show the little ring. And I mean, I really just make my backings up as I go. So from here, I want this to be centered in the 3.5. So I'm gonna just take it, line up these edges, see where they line up, put a crease, and the white line on my ruler on that crease will tell me the center, and I'll chop both sides off. And that will iron out later. Oops. That'll iron out later. So now I'm literally going to just kind of figure out where I'm going to put this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to sew this without this. Can you zoom out? Thanks. So I'm actually going to do this ditty, leave one off, and see if that's wide enough. I like this one better. Put that there. Actually, no. I'll kind of move it around. There. I'm going to do that. I think that looks good. So I'm going to sew them, and what I'll do, I'll move my sewing machine back a little bit. And I'm going to literally chain piece this whole thing all at once. So, take my shoes off. And this is what I do. I'm going to use a 1/4 inch seam. And I literally just keep adding, and I just remember where I was at. Which side is the left and which side is the right. I'm not going to iron in between. Now I'm going to iron this. And I will set the seams and then go. So I will kind of go like this, set my seam, press. Set my seam, press. Now this, you're going to see when you hold it that it naturally goes towards the orange, not the white. So I'm going to set both sides, set both seams, let it fall where it goes, and then press. I do set my seams because if you don't set your seams, it's going to be kind of funky. So let's see. Let's see if this measures enough to not. This measures 20 inches. Perfect. So I don't have to add that other square. I'll just put it in my box. And now that it's in my box, I can put it in my container. So this is 3 inches. I need it to be 20. So 20 minus 3 is 17. Divided by 2, 8.5. So I need this to be about 8.5 by 20. So this is my leftover fabric. I don't know if it's going to be enough. It's going to be barely enough. So it is about 8 inches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to iron this flat, cut it here, and then just attach it. And this stuff on the edge, I'm not trimming down because Gina's going to trim that down after she, or I will trim it down after before we put the binding on. So this just happens to be the right size. It might be about 1/2 inch too small, but I think it'll be okay. And since it's my backing, you don't have to line anything up. I just trim as little as possible off. And I'm going to do this. And it's a little bit wider than it needs to be, but that's okay. I'm not even going to pin this. So I'm going to just literally put this. Can you zoom out a tiny bit? Yeah. Thanks. Let's see. Go. Okay, good. I can go this way. I'm gonna literally just sew this down. I'm not trimming this down until later, and I'm not pinning anything. I'm just putting it down. Now, if you're doing a backing that, yeah, on the backings, I just kind of go. And when I do this, I'm going to put this. Can you go to the front camera?
Sorry.
Thanks. Okay, this, let me see if I can see it. Oh, just fell off. This goes on top. That way I can make sure my seams stay the way I want them to. And I literally just stitch. Press real quick. And on this one, I will press toward the background because that will be the easier way. And I put my iron right on that seam so that there's no puckers or anything. And now you can see it says Kimberly Jolly right in the middle. So if somebody steals this quilt one day, my name's still going to be in it, unless they put an ink pen on it. And I got this idea from Jaybird Quilts about 10 years ago. She is a designer, pattern designer called Jaybird Quilts. She's the one that's designing what Lily's working on. And after she started doing it, then the label club came out, and I thought, okay, then I can make it work.
And can you remind us the name of the label club, please?
The company is called Sweetwater, and Ashley will have to link to their label club. They have some different options. They have an option where you get one sheet a month. It might have one label, it might have two, it might have three. Or you can have it say like a state that you live in, or there's a Christmas option. And those are bigger sheets, and those are not the club. Or you can just order a sheet that has your name and the year. I left those at home.
And we are curious, how many of you guys have tried pieced backings at home or are now going to try one after seeing Kimberly do it?
It's fun to do the backings because you don't have to be as precise, because nothing has to line up. It's just going to go on the back. Okay, I'm going to move the sewing machine now.
Do you want me to take it off the table?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Or we can do it after in the intermission. We can do an intermission. Okay. It's making a duck sound. Do you hear it? The iron is like quacking.
Yes.
Okay. So from here, I will just kind of trim the edge, just to be, so it's not so, doesn't have to be, but just trim that off. I missed the trash can, sorry. I tried it.
Yeah, those are bigger pieces. That's not a big deal.
Yeah, and then these, I'm not gonna trim this. You don't need to. But what you can see is you put your quilt on top of it, and it's got plenty of room for Gina. So when she puts it on her machine, this will go down. She'll put 80-20 batting in, and she can quilt it this way. She can quilt it this way. And if she got crazy, she could quilt it this way. That's not going to give her enough room. But I'm just saying it can go any way. She could even do this.
Oh.
She could do that. So you could do a skinnier top, a skinnier bottom. She can kind of put it wherever. Now, she knows I like it kind of centered, so she'll just do this. That's what she'll do. But you could have done, let's see, up here, you could have done a skinnier piece and a fatter piece. You could have done a strip, white, another strip, white, another one. It's how much of your bin that's left over do you want to use up? I wanted to do something easy, and also this is going to go on a table, and so, you know, it didn't have to be, doesn't have to be fancy. So the way that I will send it to Gina, I will kind of fold it where it doesn't mess this up, and I will probably fold this just like this, and that's how I'll send it to Gina. I do need to send her some binding, and I don't know that I have enough left over, so I'm gonna have to find some. Let me see. I don't know that I have a piece big enough. Let's see, this piece might be big enough. Nope. So then that's when I'm kind of like, oh, did I use it all? Let's see, this would not look good as binding. This one. So this will probably be my binding right here. So I cut at the bottom, but she's got plenty of room, and she's gonna do a 2-inch border. So she only needs 4 inches, so that's gonna give her plenty. So I will iron this so that I don't send it to her messy, and she'll use that to make my binding. And I will just send it just like this to Gina. When I send something to a long arm quilter, you'll wanna put it in a bag. I'm gonna move this. So we usually use trash bags, or we buy from Uline these really thin plastic bags, and that's what we put them in, so that if it's in the mail, it doesn't get ruined. If water gets on your package or something like that.
Lots of people are suggesting to do a scrappy binding.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of scrappy bindings on something like this because I feel like too much is going on. So if I had a white on the outside, scrappy binding would be a good idea. But I feel like if you did scrappy next to scrappy, it's going to be too much. But yes, I think that's a great idea. I don't think it would look good with this design. I did think about adding a border when I was done, and I kind of did this. And I thought, you know, it looks better. Like, this is how you can try it out. You can say, do you want to add a border? This is kind of how it will look, because you can just see a little bit of your binding. Or does it look better with just binding? And to me, it looked better with just binding. And you can just try it out. That's what I do, is just kind of try it out. And then bigger border, fatter binding, big border, skinny border. Okay, so I know y'all probably have a lot of questions.
Yeah.
So let me know what questions y'all have.
Yeah. So just to summarize a little bit what you're saying here, so there is no right or wrong answer to how you can do this, right?
Right. You can put like I showed at the beginning, you can just put a fabric on the back. You don't have to put a label in at all. You could just put fabric. You can do a scrappy backing and leave the label out. You can do whatever you want. I think it's fun. So my favorite part is cutting and doing the backings. I love doing the backings. I mean, it looks cute, and it's gonna always have my name. And if I give it as a gift, it's gonna have my name. If it's in my house, one day when I die, it'll be in an antique shop, and somebody will be like, oh, that was that lady on YouTube. But I mean, I just think it's fun. You can make your own labels. You could even just get some fabric and write with a permanent, like, Pigma pen or something.
A few people were wondering what you are ironing on.
This is a June Taylor mat. And on one side it's a mat, and on the other side it's a cutting mat. Sorry, on the top it's an ironing station. On the bottom it's a mat, so that if you go to a retreat, it's great.
Also great for on camera when you need to quickly.
Yeah, and it's just, I mean, I don't want to like I don't want to move the iron and show. Well, I guess I could. I just don't want to burn myself.
Let's be careful.
And we sell them at Fat Quarter Shop. You can also find them at like Joann's. And there's different sizes. They have some real tiny ones. This is one of their bigger ones. They're not too big. I think this is the biggest one.
I think so too. Sharon Berkermeyer says, you save all squares, but how do you know you won't need strips or rectangles down the road? And other people are also asking why you don't save rectangles.
So I just don't feel like it. But Lori does. And so you can. I like mine to be cut down exactly so that I don't have to take it out and measure it later. So what I have decided for myself is I save 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, and 6.5 inch squares. That's what I save. Now you can save 1.5 inch squares. You could do strips. You can do whatever. I just kind of, that's about, and I don't need much more than that. Like if I have a fat quarter, I'm not going to have enough to do all those squares plus a rectangle. But if you want to, you definitely can. You can do whatever you would like to do. That's just kind of what I do. And from, for example, let me show you. I'll show you what I do. This is what I'll do with this. I'm making a mess over here, Lily. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
This is what I'll do with this. First, I'll iron it. So can we do the upper camera?
Yeah.
So, first I'll iron this. I mean, I'm not going to do it like this. This is my 6.5, my 5.5. I will cut as many as I can. So I'll lay it out and I'll probably cut this, 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 then I'll go back and add another 2.5. Once that's done, then I'll go and I will save as much of this as I can. And then that all goes. So some of my scrap buckets I'll have one piece. Sometimes I'll have two. Sometimes I will have one in the 6.5 and one in the 2.5, and that's it. I'll just save whatever. And I learned that from Lori. Lori taught me that. That's not something that I came up with.
From Jolyn Catledge, do the labels shrink with the fabric in the wash? I know Kimberly doesn't wash her quilts, but was wondering if anyone might know.
Yeah, I don't know. You could maybe, I mean, I'm sure they would shrink a little, but I don't think you could wash that beforehand because it would fray on the edge. It's too small to wash. Plus, if you washed it, that sticky stuff on the back would get all in your washing machine. So I would not recommend that unless, because it's not a very hard stick. Like it's not a heat and bond that's like thick. It just gently, because Gina will tell you, a lot of times I just send her those quilts and I don't put that white thing on the back. If I don't have time, I just put it in. It doesn't affect anything.
Okay, and then Ashley Mass was asking, random question, do you recommend using starch fabric for the foundation paper, or does it matter, like our foundation paper pads?
It doesn't matter. I starch everything, so I like to starch. It's up to you. Either one will work.
Okay, and then lots of super chats to go through.
Okay.
From JC Golek, super chat for $5, and they said, love you all, watch you every Friday.
Thank you.
Thank you, JC. And our next super chat is from Patricia Hamilton for $15 Canadian. And Patricia says, another super chat as I couldn't change the amount on my iPad on my laptop now. Thanks, Kimberly and Lily, who are such a great team.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. New YouTube member, Gretchy F. Welcome, Gretchy.
Thank you.
That's a cute name, Gretchy. And then our next super chat is from Barbara Coyle. Barbara says, good morning, ladies. Cannot believe it's October. Hope you all have a blessed weekend.
Thank you. Yeah,
Thank
it
you,
is.
Barbara.
It is October.
Yes.
It's nice outside, though. I really like the
It is
temperature.
really nice.
I went for a walk last night for the first time in a while.
Oh, wow.
And then I was walking so long that my kids just left me outside. And I was like, where is everybody? Where's my dog? They just like went inside. Nobody said, we're going. I was just like, oh, I'm just chilling out here by myself. They were in the backyard playing. I mean, they go through the backyard. There's like a cut through gate. And so then they were like playing with the dog in the backyard. And I'm like, wait a minute. I thought they were walking with me.
That's really funny.
It is funny. And I was kind of mad that I was like, hey, guys, next time you could say bye. Something.
You at least say hey.
Well, because they ride their bikes. So they're not always like right where there's like two cul-de-sacs that go like this. They're like circles right behind our house. So like our house is right here, and there's a cul-de-sac here and a cul-de-sac here. So sometimes I'm in one and sometimes they're in the other, and
But they just all went back.
they just all went home. I don't know how long I was out there. I mean, it could have been like 10 minutes. I was like, oh, I'm a horrible mother. I'm not even paying attention.
Oh no.
My goodness.
From Lori Roth, super chat for $4.99, and Lori says, "Thank you. I have been looking forward to the new block as soon as I finish my block 1."
Thank you.
And then our next super chat was from Brenda Shute for $5, and Brenda says, "Could you consider putting triangle paper suggestions in the patterns where you'd use them for those of us who are triangle paper deficient?" Thanks.
So we're going to start doing that on our It's So Emma patterns going forward. And on this one, we decided I will tell you in each video so that we don't confuse you. And we're kind of transitioning into that. And so we're going to kind of test it out on like one pattern and see how it works. And then if we don't get a lot of questions, then we'll, you know what I mean? Like we kind of want to roll that out gently so that we don't get people too confused. Because not everybody watches me on YouTube. I mean, most people don't. So I don't want to confuse, you know what I mean? I don't want to confuse people who aren't watching. And I also don't want to write the patterns only for that, because then people will say, well, you're making me buy something.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to make you buy something.
From Charlotte Walker, Charlotte gave us a $20 super chat.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Charlotte.
And I did joke the other day about going to get Starbucks, and it was just a joke, guys. Sorry. I know that there was like some comments, but it was just a joke. I was being funny.
And then Charlotte did want to ask, will you guys get any more of the oval red Fat Quarter Shop magnetic pin holders? The oval shape fits in my hand better. So it's like our...
Can somebody email Denise and me, and I'll look into that. We have to buy an order. Like, you have to meet a minimum order quantity, and I don't think they sold that great, but I can look into it. I just have to email the company. Schmetz makes them for us. They'll make them for any quilt shop. And this is what she's talking about.
Yeah, the
So, yeah, I can, we can email them if Lily tells me, because I'm going to forget.
Yes, I made a note. And then we had a $5 super chat from Linda Hester. Linda said, "I didn't get a box from you yesterday. I must have missed a day of ordering. I'll probably get 2 today."
Aw.
That's funny.
Thanks. Yeah, you got to be home and hide those boxes from your husband. The other day, y'all know what I did? Okay. I really wanted a wreath for, oh, my ladder made it here. So I have this ladder. Here, I'm going to show it to you.
Okay. It's a little heavy.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
I can bring it on.
Okay, you bring it over here. Sorry. I'm like, I think I'll trip. So I have this ladder in my bedroom. Actually, not this exact one, but something like it. And I wanted to put up a little wreath for Halloween, but I wanted it to be fall. And the one I have is like a eucalyptus leaf, and it's spring. So at the very top, thanks. I want to show this thing. So at the top, you can hang a wreath, and you put your quilts. So I went on Etsy, thank you, and I bought a wreath. But on accident, I bought 2. So I don't know where I'm gonna put the second one. I was like, why do I have 2? And then I had to go back and look, and I was like, oh my goodness. I mean, I like both of them. I just have to find a home for the other one. It's kind of embarrassing when you buy 2 things and you don't mean to.
That's funny.
Lily thinks it's funny. I'm sure Kevin doesn't. He hasn't figured it out yet.
I do think it's funny. It's also just like, well, now I have 2. This is kind of nice.
Yeah, but they're like handmade, and it's the eucalyptus leaves, and then they just put pumpkins on it, which I'm sure I could have done if I had time, but I don't have time. And I had looked at Michael's, and everything at Michael's seems very Halloween or very orange for their wreaths, and I didn't want orange.
And then from Sarah Pat Daniel, Sarah gave us a $5 super chat.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. And then a couple new YouTube members here, or a few actually. Sherry Thurman, welcome Sherry. And then another new YouTube member is Wally12.
Thank you.
Welcome, Wally. New YouTube member Kathleen Kirk, welcome Kathleen.
Thank you.
And another new YouTube member is, oh, hang on, it went away. Mallory Anderson.
Thank you.
Welcome, Mallory. Grammy is a new YouTube member. Cute username. Welcome, Grammy. And then we got a super chat from Julie Conway for $19.99. And she put the pair that says "Thanks for being you" with the mirror going like this.
Aw, thanks.
Okay, and then we're almost through the super chats. Jennifer Jacobs gave us a $5 super chat, and Jennifer says Kimberly and her crew are my reward for a week teaching 7th graders. Oh,
Thank you. Oh, 7th grade. Oh, yeah, I know about that. I have a daughter in 8th grade. They think they know everything.
Oh,
It's a good year. I think 6th and 7th is a tough year for kids.
Yeah, it's rough. Middle school's rough. Super chat from Nancy Rogers for $1.99. Thank you, Nancy. And super chat from Laura Hamilton for $4.99. And Laura says, thanks for all of your live streams and videos, so helpful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And definitely, guys, take what you like, and the stuff you don't like, that's okay. It's just what I do.
Mm-hmm. A few people are asking if your mom might want the extra wreath.
No, she does not decorate the way I want. She would tell me that was ugly.
Oh.
Believe me. We don't like the same things. She's just like my daughter. So my daughter and her have the same taste. So, no, I guarantee she'd be like, that's gray. Because it's kind of got gray. She does not like gray.
And then we had a question from Jennifer Aragon about ironing. She's asking, so you use no steam when building blocks, and then you steam after the block is all together?
I use steam the whole time, but I starch beforehand, so it's already pre-shrunk. But I do use steam. The only time I don't use steam is when I use these foundation papers that I'm going to talk about next. So I wanted to show you this. This is my 2020 quilt, but also my Scrappy September finish. So I started this in January, and I saved scraps throughout the year. And this is from all the quilts I made this year, and I used the log cabin paper, and then I kind of made a pinwheel. I put them in pinwheels, and Gina Tell quilted it, and she did a like a spiral, and I'm going to show you the back. Well, I'm going to show you the other side first, and then I'll show you the back. I think it's upside down. So on this, all the whites are different. Some are the same, but they're not all the same. So one of the questions I got was, are these the same? Some are cream. They just blend in. So you can see this is pretty cream. So I tried to use up scraps. And the back, I used some of Lori Holt's Bee Backgrounds aqua jars. Can you do the upper camera? Thanks. Oh, and of course now I've got it upside down. I thought I had it right side up.
Well, the camera's face the other
I
way.
know. So then this is what I did with this one. This is actually...
Oh, the one you were going to use.
Yeah, it was the one I was going to use, so you can see from my... It probably came with this. So it's just a different color. So I put this... I didn't even put fabric on the back of that, and I put a border around it, and then I set it in. And this was scraps that were left over from the front. So I'm excited about that because now I have another quilt.
Yay.
I know, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I think I kind of have an idea for it, but I'm excited to have it. So I'm going to, can I take it home, Lily? I'm going to take it home. So what I made this with is this right here, this log cabin 6-inch. So you can, when you have all these leftovers, like this, you can just cut them into strips and make some of these. This uses 1.5-inch strips, and the 12-inch block uses 2.5-inch strips. In these pads, there are instructions. If you're working with these, do not use steam because it'll shrink your paper and it'll get your paper wet. So this is the log cabin. This is the pineapple. And then this is the economy, and these are by Lori Holt. we have something really fun planned with all of these, and we have another one coming out in a little bit. We also have this that is free on our blog, and it will tell you different sizes that you can use with the papers to make different size quilts. So super awesome. I just wanted to show you that's what that is made out of. Another quilt that I finished, I had showed you guys, this also is Scrappy September, the brand new The Bonnie and Camille Quilt Bee book. Thank you for all the nice comments on the book. I made the wish table runner. So this is the front. This is all from scraps for Scrappy September. So let's see, without falling off the, okay, there. I'm like, try not to fall off the table. So that's the front. And this is the back. I'm going to show you, I did this one totally different. I'm going to show you the back, and then I'm going to show you up close what I did because it's different. This pattern, this scrappy backing is actually included in the book. And this was all from my scraps. I didn't buy anything except, I might have had to buy one border. I think I had to buy this fabric. Okay, now here, I pieced this backing and forgot to put my label in. And I came to the live stream with Lilly, and I was like, wait, I don't have it in there. So what I did, I went home, I took one of the labels from my little bag, I added borders. I took a hot hammer, which we don't have on the set, which is fine. I took a hot hammer. It's a Joan Hawley Clover tool. I folded this in 1/4 inch, and I stitched this on top of the same square. So let's see. See how you can, okay. See how you can see it's raised there? Now you can see it. And I stitched it on top. And then Gina just quilted on top. But I did this because I forgot. Now normally I would have just sewn this into a square, or I would have put it into here probably. But I just totally forgot. And I was like, oh, wait, I need to fix that. So if you forget, you can put it on top. So that's another way you can do it. Nice. And it just did a little top stitch. And the hot hammer is, I have to sneeze, hold on. Excuse me. The hot hammer is like it's kind of like feltish, but you can fold your fabric over it and get a straight line. I didn't want a raw edge on that. And then I wanted to let you guys know that we have these stash in stores in lots of colors. We are doing breast cancer awareness on these two. This is the large and the mini. And in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we are donating 25% of the sales of these two stash in stores for retail, and we're going to donate it to the National Breast Cancer Foundation for their work on providing early detection, education, and support services. That is going to be on all sales from October 1st to October 31st, and I'll show you how you can use these. Well, you open it, and all your stuff will fit in it. We have lots of colors on this, but the main thing I used it for is my feet. I put my feet in there. That's the main thing I do. And then my scissors.
Your sewing machine feet.
Oh, sorry, my sewing machine
It's
feet.
okay.
I was like, why is she giving me that look?
I
Okay.
looked away for a second, that's why.
Because this is the only way I won't lose them. So I put them in there. I use scissors, and you can put like even this big thing right here, this seam roller.
Oh, yeah, you can make it fit.
It'll fit. So that's how you use it. A lot of people use it at their desks.
Mm-hmm.
There's one right here that's actually already done. This
yeah.
is like, it's got pens, pencils, scissors.
I have like 5 at home that hold pens, pencils, sewing tools, makeup.
Yeah, they're
brushes.
a great Christmas gift. I gave them to all my aunts and uncles.
Mm-hmm.
And then Emma, this is my daughter Emma.
Aww.
Little Emma. I'll put my feet back here. I'll put the sewing machine feet back here so I don't lose them. So we wanted to let you know that. And we did get to borrow a quilt from Pam Buda. It is a block of the month that we're offering for the future. She is the fabric designer and the pattern designer. This quilt is huge. So I'm going to try to show it to you in increments. Look how big it is. This is a fourth of it. Okay, let's see. Where's Ashley? Let's see. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay. I can't go any higher.
I think if you grab it from like a quarter of the way in and then lift it up.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what I mean?
I gotta catch my breath. Out of breath.
Today's workout.
I know. My back. Oh. Okay, this is the center is so pretty. And I'm gonna show you the custom quilting also. So I'm going to put it on the table, and I'm going to show you how they did the back, because they did a label on the back. Oh, Ashley's going to come help me. Thanks. I didn't even think about this one today. So this is custom quilting. Look how beautiful that is. So they custom quilted each block. I'll show you the center, I'm going to show you the back, and then I'm going to show it to you better again. So I would say this would be a advanced quilt. That's probably your next question but it's definitely advanced, and this would be great for triangle paper. And this one she pieced with rectangles and half square triangles. You could do bias if you wanted. Okay, let me show you the label, which I think is right here. I just saw it. It's right. I just saw it. Right here. Let me show this real quick. So let's see. Okay, so she has a solid backing. She has a label that she made on her computer. She printed it out. She added borders to it. And she, instead of top stitching, she hand stitched this down on top. So you could do what I did and top stitch it, or you can hand stitch it down. So that's another way to do a label.
Can you remind us who designed it and pieced it, please?
Okay. Yes. Okay, I need to go this way, right? There we go. Okay, there we go. Okay, so it is Forevermore Block of the Month, designed by Pam Buda, and she pieced it with Debbie McClarence. And then let's fold it in the middle and go down. It's quilted by Crooked Creek Quilting. It is 84 inches square. It feels like it's 120 inches square. And the collection is called Forevermore, and this starts shipping in January. And we sell it as a block of the month. The block of the month includes the pattern. So pretty. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Ashley.
It's so pretty. And let's see what else I have today. I have more. The Quilter's Cottage Sew Along just wrapped up. So thank you to everyone sewing that one. We have her next one coming up. I wanted to let you know that you guys had requested the rulers that I'm using. So we did a set of 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, 6.5 creative grids, and it comes as a set. It is not discounted, and the reason why is Creative Grids is a company that has a MAP policy. So any stores that sell it have to sign an agreement that you will not discount in any way ever on their rulers. So you can buy them individually or together. And I thought this was really cool. I don't know if you've seen it, Lily, but it's a desk calendar. Last year they did a wall calendar, and this year they did a desk calendar. So you can put it on your desk, and then these right here, you can find these free patterns on their website. Or some of them are not free, like this one's not free, but some of them are. Like this one tells you quiltyloveshop.com. So the ones that are on robertkaufman.com are free, and each page is a different Kona. And then it gives you ideas of quilts. I'm going to show you all of them because I think it's awesome. I think it would have been a fun job to have this job to do the calendar. I don't think I'm creative enough to do it, but I think it's really original. I'm going to show this next week, Lily, because we're sold out of this. So I'm going to save these. Okay. I'm going to save those. July. There's a lot of blue. Look how many blues they have. I think this would be cool to have under your, you could write notes on it. But yeah, you can see like this is a violet craft pattern. So it gives you pattern suggestions. This is one of the most popular patterns out there right now, the snowflake pattern. And then at the back, it tells you if it's an F, it's a free pattern, and if it's a D, it's a designer pattern, and then it gives you the size, the designer, and the website. I just thought this was pretty original. And then I wanted to let you know that we have this classic and vintage quilt that we had done a while ago. And the classic and vintage is actually this block right here, the maple leaf. Right here, this is the block. Here, this is, I can show it this way. This is the block right here. So we thought we could take some of the All Hallows Eve, and there's a bundle that's called Orange You Glad, and we took that and we made it. It's a free pattern. We just thought it'd be a way to show you what you could do at home. And Kate made this, and we do give you a pieced backing option if you want to use the leftovers, because you guys have asked about that. So Kate made this. Mike from My Long Arm Quilt made it. It's 23 inches square, and it uses 5 fat quarters. And of course, if you wanted to do it scrappy, you could use more or less. You know, you could do all one fabric. You could do more or less, but it's just a free thing, and we thought we should show it to you. And then on our cross stitch channel, which is called Fat Quarter Shop Floss Tube, we would love for you to go over there and subscribe. This is our pattern called Hey Pumpkin, and we did a video on how to make this pumpkin mug rug and how to finish it. And this is some plaids, and then we put some Riley Green vintage trim, which is Lori Holt's trim, and I'm going to take it home.
Yay.
So yeah, so that's kind of what we have this week. I've been going 2 hours. I'm still happy to answer any questions. We are going to have Tula Pink's new fabric. Lilly is going to pop it up right now. She actually last night came out with a second one. So right now we have the one up called Curiouser and Curiouser.
Curiouser, sorry.
Curiouser and Curiouser. We are pre-selling it, and Lilly will show you kind of what it looks like. Tula has done some videos on her Instagram and Facebook showing it. This is kind of the overall look of it. There's also going to be a quilt kit that has teapots on it. Mm-hmm. She also has a flannel line coming out, and we'll have to show you that another week because that came out last night. Those are the two 108s. I think they're beautiful, and they kind of have the little Alice in Wonderland spade and diamond. And then those are kind of the different colorways.
That's so cool.
So go back to, there. Okay, so that's one colorway, and then that's the other colorway. And then the first image is all together. So we put that online. I did want to announce our FQS Scrappy September winners. And so we're going to show you who won for participating in that challenge. I think I should have won because I got a lot done. I was so proud of myself.
Yes.
So this is Angie Polio, and it says, when I'm in between projects, I use my scraps to make random blocks and throw it all together. So that is great. And Cindy Quilts won. She's also a winner. And E.M. Jessica S. Stitching. She got it done just in time for Scrappy September. And Patty Monroe Fowl. That's really pretty. That is an It's So Emma Chantilly pattern, I believe. And this is Sue Ann Sutterman. So pretty. There we go. Okay, and I wanted to give a special shout out today to someone that really made my heart happy yesterday. So Mary Williams posted a picture of her son on Kimberly's Stitch Squad, and I wanted to give him a big shout out. We think his name is Joshua. We looked it up, did some digging, and I want to read this to you because this is what this live stream is all about, is to make people happy. She put, I'm including a photo of my son so you can understand why this picture is special. He watches the FQS videos with me, and we just love Kimberly and Lilly. He drew this and pointed to the TV and said it was Kimberly. He's an artist and uses the computer to draw and talk, but he loves to draw with his hands, even though they're not as polished as his computer drawings. He uses a joystick, mouse, and software to draw. It's a struggle to hold pens and pencils, but he loves it, and he loves life and Disney. He loves life and all things Disney, where we go several times a year before the pandemic. He says Kimberly is a very nice lady, and because of his nonverbal status, I can tell you that he is spot on with his observational skills. I wanted to share, but go ahead and delete if it should not have been posted. Of course we want you to post this, so we hope that he sees this. We want to give him a shout out, and I would love if he mailed me the drawing. Aww. Because then I could take a picture of it. Yeah. And we could hang it in my office.
That's very sweet.
So that was just so special to me, and so happy that she shared that in our Facebook group.
Mm-hmm. Oh, sorry. There we go. Wrong button. Okay. And yes, we have several questions that have been coming in during the live stream. From Sherry Sites. This was a funny comment. She said, I had my son pick up 48 cans of faultless starch at his Walmart because I could only find one at my Walmart.
Oh, that's a lot. I don't think I've ever seen that many. They usually have 12 at the most at my stores. 48, that's like a jackpot.
From Ashley Kabbalah, hello Fat Quarter Shop and everyone else. In need of some advice, I recently moved and had my large Creative Grids cutting mat in my car that got warped from the heat. Any suggestions on how I can get it flat?
I don't think it's fixable. I think it's probably recyclable and junk, and you probably have to throw it away. I'm sorry. I don't think anybody has ever been able to get one of those flat. I mean, you could try heavy books, but I think once they warp, they're kind of a goner.
Janice Hopper was asking, can you attach a label after it is quilted, say under binding and then hand stitch the other sides?
Yeah, you can. So if you look on the back of this, there are people who sell woven labels, and they're long and rectangular. I've used them plenty of times, and you could put it in right here with the raw edges underneath and stitch over it. You could also hand stitch over just a regular a regular label if you wanted to.
That's true. Okay, and then some super chats from Catherine Gaines. Catherine gave us $10 saying, for all you do to make us smile.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And then we had another super chat from Chanel Weinchius for $5, and Chanel says, Kimberly and Lilly are a great team.
Thank you.
And we had a new YouTube member, Monique Robinson. Welcome, Monique.
Thank you.
And, another new YouTube member, Beverly Hoviter. Welcome, Beverly.
Thank you.
And then we had a super chat from Kim Fuller for $4.99. And Kim says, thanks for all you guys do. It's my fun day.
Thank you.
Yay. And then Karen Collin was asking if we could explain the super chat and any rules for us newbies.
So a super chat is just like a virtual tip jar. You don't have to do it. We're getting so many, and we really appreciate it. But it's definitely not. You don't have to pay for anything. You can just, if you ask us a question, we're gonna answer it anyway, as long as we see it come through. It's just like a little tip jar. It uses all the equipment up here. Like the other day, Lily bought a remote control or something. I mean, it buys all the equipment that's in here.
Yeah. And then Diane Call, when I went up there earlier, was saying that we need a Lily emoji. I think we need like your face and my face as emojis.
Who's gonna draw that?
I don't know, but
okay.
maybe Kat or I don't know. We can
you could just ask Kat if she can do it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to see mine though.
Well, let us know in the comments for YouTube members if that's something you guys would want. Sonia Dewey, she was asking what my shirt said. It says Aladdin.
Oh, Disney Aladdin.
Yeah.
I've never even seen that movie.
That's hilarious. And then Lori Holt had said, I applicate a label on the back after quilting sometimes. So
yeah.
Lori does it, so it's all good. Yeah.
So guys, have a great week, and hopefully next week I will have something else fun to show you. Have a great weekend.
Bye, everyone.